everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth. This is Season 5, Episode 40. Can you believe we've knocked out 40 episodes so far this year? 40. I know.
Or 39, whichever.
Well, whatever. It's a leap show. How about that?
I mean, it's about to be October, y'all.
I know.
Wow.
No, Halloween. How are you going to go trick-or-treating this year? I mean, not that
I've heard Georgia has, I know at least they said Newton County yesterday said they will have no restrictions, none whatsoever. Trick or COVID your ass off. They don't care.
We're going to give kids masks.
I mean, they've already got masks on, so I mean.
No, we're gonna give the children disposable masks and little things of pocket-sized hand sanitizer. That's what we're gonna give people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fuck you, lady. I'm dumping it in your yard. What did you do?
Nobody's gonna toilet paper anybody's house though. Toilet paper.
Valuable
commodity now.
It's too valuable. You go out in the tree and re-roll it around your finger. We get free toilet paper, honey.
You still get the flaming bag of crap if you give anybody pennies, though. That's never changing.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Did you guys ever? Now, Jeff and I trick-or-treated together maybe a couple times, but not very often. Did you guys retaliate if you got an apple, pennies, or a toothbrush, or anything stupid like that?
No.
You're shaving cream people's doors and stuff.
Mm-hmm. You mean if you got something crappy like that?
Yeah, like a toothbrush.
I bet the person that can't be bothered to answer their door. Now I'm talking about late 70s and most of the 80s here.
No, I mean, in our town, they would just leave the lights off and you wouldn't go to that house.
No, but there were some people who would, leave the candy out on the, not candy so much. There was always a couple of houses, and I remembered them each year. They would put popcorn in Ziploc bags. Buttered popcorn, and they would just wrap it all up, and there'd be a giant bowl full of these bags of popcorn. I would take 2 or 3 each.
You would take all of them.
No, I wasn't. I even then I had morals, but let's see. There were some Seventh-day Adventists who lived across the street from me, and they didn't do idolatry or Halloween or anything like that. Now today I would respect them, but when I was 10 years old, I was like, those guys are jerks. I'm going to ruin them for being religious and not giving me candy. But
bags of popcorn. Popcorn ball, yes. Bags of popcorn, lame.
Well, I don't like any kind of sweet popcorn. Gives me the willies, gives me the red ass. So I don't like it. But these people would put butter and salt on it. But you'd never be able to do that now. People are like, oh, you're trying to poison my kid.
I saw this funny cartoon on Reddit where this guy's at the movie theater and he's like, "Can I get 2 popcorns, please?" And the clerk behind the thing is like, "Do you want them regular or sweet?" And the guy turns to his girlfriend and he goes, "I want it just like my girlfriend." And the clerk goes, "Sorry, sir, we don't have any ugly popcorn."
Oh, ugly popcorn. That's going to be the name of the show.
I have a popcorn problem. Like, I eat at least 1 bag of popcorn a day. At least one.
Like store-bought popcorn or
no, just microwave popcorn. I get microwave popcorn, and what I'll do is I'll try to trick my fat ass and get light popcorn, like light butter. Then I'll buy like all these Colonel Seasons, sour cream and onion shakens and butter sprays and all this other shit. And by the time I'm done with it, I've put the calories right back to what it was. But there's been some days where I've eaten nothing but popcorn. Like I've eaten 4 bags of popcorn.
I've done that.
Like all I did the entire day.
I haven't had popcorn in 3 months though, because on the radio station I've been doing this diet. I don't want to say their name, but I've been doing this meal plan, right? And no popcorn, and it's bumming me out because that's my favorite food. Jeff knows how much I like popcorn. And he knows how I like to make it, right?
The old-fashioned way,
right? With oil, real salt, tons of real butter.
What do? You put it in the pot?
Yeah,
on the stove,
and it comes out, and I'm very. What, Jeff?
Tim has his own popcorn wok.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Well, we have a big thing of it, but I like the Orville Redenbacher. Give me the GMO popcorn. I don't want. I've tried that.
Oh, we have red and black organic popcorn.
Well, the kernels are like ball size, my balls, marbles. Let's just say marbles.
So you don't get into the fancy gourmet popcorns because there's like these like the dill pickle or buffalo ranch or.
No, I don't like flavor. Oh, you know what? Let me backtrack. Trader Joe's puts out dill pickle popcorn, And I bought that, and this is so good. But by the time you get to half of the bag, you're like, this is too much sodium. But it's good.
Whatever.
But I used to like
the saltier the better.
Extra MSG.
What's that, Jeff?
Add extra MSG.
Extra MSG. I would microwave popcorn, and then it was so awful and bland that I would melt butter and put it on there, which makes it doubly worse. Microwave popcorn is so bad for you. It gives you.
Is it really?
Yeah, when you open the bag, if you breathe any of that shit in, it's like the same stuff they use at dry cleaners. So your lungs are getting that dust. He says,
really? So I'm getting like eating asbestos, basically.
Eating ass?
Eating asbestos? Or is that what I'm doing?
I guess. I don't know.
Oh, geez, man.
Oh, geez, I don't know. But anyway, I can't wait till I have popcorn because very soon I will hit my target weight.
Why won't they let you have the popcorn? Because there's too many carbs?
Yeah, when you do this meal plan that I'm on, and again, I'm not going to name them. You want to find out Monday through Friday, 9 to noon on WSB. So you have to measure out everything. And you can cook with real oil. You can use avocado oil, olive oil, and then the only kind of butter you can use is Kerrygold grass-fed butter.
That's how you make the.
That's the stuff Steph puts in her coffee.
Yeah, you can.
I have.
Awesome, I have too. It's still
so delicious.
Huh?
No, I put the MCT oil in coffee sometimes.
You do? It keeps you. It really works, man. Like if you do it right, your whole brain just explodes, and you're like Jim Carrey on meth.
It's like a 400-calorie cup of coffee.
It's worth it though for that. It really does make your brain more alert, and it gives you a lot of energy.
The Kerrygold thing though, those like all the what are the gym where you go and you jump on boxes and swing from ropes and shit. CrossFit, yeah. All the CrossFitters, they do the Kerrygold coffee.
Yeah, I put mushroom powder in my coffee. That's the other thing. What is MCT oil, Jeff?
I don't know. So stuff you put in to make bulletproof coffee without the butter.
Yeah. I do like the butter in it, though. I got to say. Butter makes everything better.
It gives such a good taste. And Kerrygold butter. Mama.
I put butter on my butter.
Everybody's making that Kerrygold type butter now, though. Even Land O'Lakes has their own Kerrygold style.
The whipped?
Just
butter?
regular artisanal butter.
Well, I get the Land O'Lakes whipped light butter, and oh God bless it, it's straight from heaven. It's so good.
Do you remember in the 70s and 80s, more so the 80s, every house had a tub of country crock, fucking awful grease that they would dye yellow to make it look like butter, and everybody had
that vegetable country crock yet?
No, is that good?
I haven't tried it
I've
yet.
had it. Yeah, it's all right.
What is it? Dip or butter?
Vegan butter.
I mean, the only thing you're gonna
vegan margarine.
All you're gonna do with it, you'll spread it on a muffin, maybe spread it on a biscuit, but you're not gonna cook with it.
They used to say
dissolves immediately.
That shit was better for you than butter, but now everybody says butter's better for you. And butter, I'm going to go with that because it tastes better. But I said to my grandmother one time, I always said, how come? She called it oleo, and I never really knew what the hell she was talking about.
Now, kid, you can have butter or oleo. What do you want, kid? Butter or oleo?
And I would go, what is oleo? And then she told me,
well, she said the oleo man used to come around with oleo and sell it door to door, and they weren't allowed to make it look yellow, and it was round and white.
So when you originally got margarine, it was not the dairy farmers had such a powerful lobby that they weren't allowed to make it look like butter. You couldn't put it in a stick, and you couldn't make it yellow.
Wasn't that the crap that they put in the fat-free potato chips that made everybody crap their pants?
That was Olestra.
Yeah. Yeah, anal leakage. 10% less anal leakage. Those chips were good, but I ate an entire bag of those once, Doritos, and then shit myself in a week.
You already have an anal leakage.
Yeah, so I don't need
compound it.
I need something with something to plug you up.
Anal corkage.
Yeah.
Like, Lestra.
Lestra. They called it Olean, but the official name, they called it Olean. They don't use it anymore that I know of. But.
No, the whole thing only lasted, it was like a few months, and then just people were crapping all over the place, and they they put an end to it.
So, all right. Well, let's move on from the butter and popcorn talk, which, I could talk about butter and popcorn the whole show. I'd be fine with it.
Same.
I'm Orville Redenbacher, and you can fuck my mouth.
You keep microwave popcorn in the freezer, so it all pops when you pop it.
Is that
Oh,
true? Is
that's
that a
a
life
good
hack,
tip.
Jeff?
Yeah,
Where'd you
Okay.
hear that? I never tried that.
do it.
I
Well,
don't.
now I'm scared to eat it because I'm afraid I'm
Because
gonna.
it's full of asbestos.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna.
You've lived this long.
I'm gonna get mesothelioma from my
From your
from my
vaginal
top
stain?
secret.
Have you or a loved one been exposed to dust from bags of popcorn? What, Jeff?
You can call John Foy and Associates and sue over Redenbacher.
I'm the strong arm.
No, I'll definitely call Montlick.
Salt lick.
Montlick my balls.
I love those commercials. Especially the one Jeff was doing, because that guy's supposed to be the strong arm, and you see him, he's all gaunt. I'm gonna go. Anyway, if you're not in the Atlanta market, maybe you don't know who these people are. I do like the guy that one call, that's all. One call, that's all.
You know that guy that did the dude who invented 411 pain. How rich that guy is.
What's 411 pain?
You know how you see those billboards? It'll say dial
Oh, yeah,
411 pain.
Were you in an accident? Dial
Yeah.
411 pain.
There's some malpractice attorney down in Florida, I think, who coined the phrase, the 411 pain or whatever. That's what got it all going. Because whenever I had my car accident, my first attorney was a total shakedown artist, and he told me, he goes, when you know what we call rain. We call it. It's the streets are paved with gold every time it rains. And I was like,
put the bomb on.
Yeah. Who told you to use a bomb? They're all variations of Saul, right?
oh yeah,
Saul Goodman.
yeah, absolutely.
And that's all. I mean, what are TV stations going to do, especially in big cities, when the election's over? Because every single commercial break is, so-and-so is too extreme for such and such. Too extreme for such and such, and his job is to do this. And then they cut to the legal commercial. Then they cut to the opposing political party. That's how they're making their money during the COVID thing.
Yeah, you're right about that. I'm wondering how many commercials are going to spin out of this debate tonight. I'm sure they're going to be hilarious.
Oh, yeah, we are recording. We record on Tuesdays or Mondays, and tonight is the first of the 3 presidential debates. I posted earlier today a GIF. Is it GIF?
Yeah, that was funny.
Of the 2 old men, and it was appropriate because Herbert from Family Guy is a pervert, and these are allegations, and they allege that Joe Biden is a pervert. Yeah, I'll sniff your hair, and then Trump. Everybody calls Trump a Nazi, so the guy he's fighting. It's the episode that's based on Apt Pupil, where the 2 old men fight each other.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm only paying $750 in taxes from now on.
Hey. You know what? Good deal. What if I did? I don't know.
I don't care what I owe. If I owe $1,000, I'm paying $750.
You just got to show a loss.
Yeah.
Show a loss, and you'll be all right.
Run for president, lose, win, whatever. You can show a loss or whatever.
But anyway, so what? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I did see, though, that Trump was wanting a third party to inspect the ears to see if either one of them had earpieces in. And Biden rejected it. Biden said no.
Originally, their campaign said yes, and then they changed it. And then last week, there was a picture going around of a close-up of Biden's ear, and it looks like he has something in there and some flesh-covered tape over it. But, everything's ridiculous. And then and they're like, I want Biden to take a drug test to see if he's on Alzheimer's medication.
Oh,
I know.
And the whole thing about it is, whoever you were going to vote for is who you're going to vote for, regardless of what they say in the shit. I hate it that they're even making us go through this next month of clown show. Just go to the election. Let's just do it. Get it over with.
You don't even have to go there. Get the thing in the mail, fill it out, take it to the post office, and put it in the box so you're not worried about it. Because if it's at the post office, then now you're halfway home.
I'm going to the ballots.
You are?
I'm going to get in line. I don't care. I'm casting it. I'm not voting for anybody. Go.
Jeff, are you going to go in or are you going to mail it in?
I got an absentee ballot. I'm thinking about filling it out, but I have a feeling that they're trying to rig the post office so that they won't get my votes.
You're one of those conspiracy nuts, huh? You've been listening to Alex Jones or whatever.
Well, the post office sucks so bad lately. I ordered 2 sweatshirts like 3 months ago, and I just got them.
Well, post office has always sucked.
No, but it sucks worse lately.
No, he's not lying. I'll be at work. I post the money and shit like that. We'll go a week and get like 10 checks, and then today I got like a fucking month's worth of money today, and then I get everybody else's mail. I have to go through the mail, pick out all the other people's mail. I told you, get other people's COVID results from like New Jersey and shit.
Ridiculous. They should they should do all the mail-in voting. They should just use Amazon. Not to make Jeff Bezos richer, but that shit gets here on time in the Amazon van.
It's true. It's true.
So, yeah. So that's our lives for the next month. One more month, and that's it. And then, well, except for the lawsuits and the the contesting.
Yeah. Then the new all conservative Supreme Court ratifies Trump for a second term.
Well, they have to get through it. First.
I just hope I hope the debates are at least entertaining. At least they're something worth. They're not going to be, but whatever.
No, they were way more entertaining while he was looming behind Hillary Clinton. I'm just going to stand behind you and loom and leer.
Well, they're coming with all the hot topics tonight: COVID, racism, the economy,
all the things. Yeah. We can do about the national debt and getting. Okay, I don't want to talk politics anymore. We're going to pivot now. We're going to pivot to something. We're going to attempt something after the show, so you're not going to see it on here. But you have to be a Radio Labyrinth Patreon member to be able to see what we are going to do. Steph came up with an idea, and unlike my ideas, we're actually going to follow through with this one. I come up with all these. Hey, we're going to do this. I don't want to do it. I do want to do this. I like it. It's we're going to call it Table Rereads. And you'll have to infer what we mean by that because you're not allowed to say that one word anymore. I mean,
You can't say Riri anymore?
No, you can't say the full word. The word that I want to say, which is perfectly applicable to this, but can't use it anymore. A lot of those, I was thinking the other day, there's a lot of new insults out there. Like if you see somebody that you disagree with on an online forum, I see a lot of this now. Dilate, which is some transgendered men to female have to dilate with a thing, and I don't want to get into it. You can Google it if you're curious. But that's the insult now because there's so many that you can't use the ones we grew up with anymore because they'll hurt somebody's feelings. I mean, they hurt somebody's feelings then, but we didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to hurt somebody's feelings when you don't know what it means.
Yeah, that's what you get for being don't be an
I don't care.
Race.
Off the air, I'm still going to call you guys everything I always did.
Yeah, me too.
You're both worse than Hitler.
That's right. Hitler called a lot of people.
You did it.
I know. I got to write down the time. I don't remember. So 6:52. That means we've been 20 minutes.
We're generationally handicapped into saying these things. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
You can't call people handicapped anymore, Steph.
I know.
They're handicapable.
You can't get disabled anymore either.
We're generationally differently abled.
Yeah, see, I wrote down generationally handicapped as another possible name for the show, but I'm like, we can't say handicapped. See, I don't know what the new things are. I'll go to the dictionary.
Okay.
So anyway,
do that.
What we're going to do is the three of us, or at other times guests,
we're going to dilate ourselves.
We're going to dilate ourselves after. Well, Steph's going to perform surgery on Jeff first, see how well it works, and then if it works, then we'll go to me.
I'm going to open him up.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to be reading. Steph, what inspired you to come up with this idea?
I ripped it off from...
I know that, but what gave you the inspiration?
The Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, the Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Was that good?
And Fast Times at Ridgemont High in front of Sean Penn. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Oh, Sean Penn was there?
Yeah.
Did he smile?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who did he play? Sean Penn was playing the teacher, right?
Was he playing Mr. Hand?
I think so.
Because Brad Pitt was Brad, right?
I think so, yeah. And then Jennifer Aniston, I think she played Phoebe Cates, right?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Took her shirt off when she came out of the pool. And
it's just a table read.
But I love table reads.
Mm-hmm.
I like to watch them. I like to participate in them if I ever had the opportunity to.
Well, now you do, because we're going to do table reads at the end of the show and record it and put it out for Radio Labyrinth Patreons. And if you'd like to find out more about that, you can go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews. The first movie we're going to do is Fatal Attraction, which came out in 1987, I believe, and stars Glenn Close, who Stephanie refers to as handsome, and Michael Douglas, who was very big in that. You get about 1985 to about 1995, he was the main male star in a lot of those kind of films. And who was the woman that played his wife? I forget the character.
Anne Archer.
Anne Archer, that's right. She was around for a while. She was always the stalwart wife. She was in she was in that Harrison Ford movie, right? Get off my plane.
Yes.
Get off of my plane. Wasn't she, or was she Jack Ryan's wife? I can't remember.
She's in one of those movies.
That's
like her
plane, Gary Oldman.
She's just like the boilerplate wife.
Yeah.
And strong, steady, put up with your cheating ass, get it back together.
Well, so we're going to do the confrontation scene when Alex has him over, has Dan over. Dan is of course, the Michael Douglas character. And word of advice, we don't know who's going to do what yet. We're having a little bit of an internal debate, but we'll figure it out. And if you are a Radio Labyrinth Patreon member, you will be able to see it. So be on the lookout for that. And thank you for Dustin Lawler in advance for doing a little extra work. Also, we are going to have a guest next week, and that guest's name is Josh Warren.
Love Josh. He's so funny.
And maybe Shane, too, since we had to reschedule, right?
Right, and maybe Shane Moore. But definitely positively Josh. And Josh, of course, is with Action Show Studios, and they have a really cool Halloween thing lined up for everybody that looks really, really funny. And he'll be talking about that. Plus, he's been on a couple of auditions, so it looks like things are starting to ramp back up in Atlanta.
I want to hear about this Twitch thing he did with Dan Fogler.
Yeah, that was super
huge.
Yeah, millions and millions of views.
Yeah, they were getting like 2 million views a night or something.
Twitch, where it is, man. I can't figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes go on there sometimes, and I like go on there to try and watch, but I can't figure it out.
Well, it is. There's so much going on. Our friend Sean, Sean Gardner, he knows a lot about Twitch. He watches a lot of those video games. He'll send me links and, you should watch this. And I'm like, no. I don't even watch TV all that much. But I will say this. I have started watching a lot more TV, and we'll talk about that when we get to what we're watching and stuff like that. See, you know what, guys? You guys don't collect sports cards, right? I know that. But I occasionally will buy a pack, and I thought maybe you might find these interesting. Topps is like the only baseball card company that can use logos of teams. They somehow cornered the market on that. And every year they release a set called Allen and Ginter. Now, Allen and Ginter it's a throwback. It's supposed to look like the old sets of the classic era of baseball. So I'll give you an idea. Like, you can see this on screen. You won't be able to see it on, of course, if you're just listening. But this is Chipper Jones. Now, they put veterans in the set, so you can see that Chipper Jones, and they have a standard format. And here's Andrew Jones. I thought maybe the Braves fans might like to see those cards. And then, of course, they have all the young guys and all sorts of things. But what this set does, this Allen and Ginter set, is they reach out and do weird things like pop culture. And there's always something weird in it. Now, these cards used to be released. Like, you could go to the Five and Dime and get the Labyrinth with a piece of gum.
The hell is that?
I don't know, some sort of, or rock, or I forget. We didn't pay attention in ninth grade. Feldspar, it's a mineral.
Yeah, they're minerals.
Yeah, our ninth grade science teacher taught us all that shit. Or 10th grade. He kicked Jeff's desk once when Jeff was doodling. Remember that?
Yeah.
This is a teacher in the 80s running. He walked up and kicked the bottom of a desk, and then the next day the desk was out in the garbage.
I mean, it's Jeff. I would have kicked his desk.
Yeah, but I mean, teacher today did that. Some angry alcoholic who's having a bad headache day.
They got away with everything back then.
I know they did. I got smacked in the face.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I got paddled for no good damn reason on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
They should let him. They should let him paddle them kids now. And then you get here's a sapphire if you're into such things.
Why would somebody buy a baseball card of a rock?
Well, I mean, they come in the packs. Here's the Comcast Tech Tower building. They're doing buildings and rocks and all sorts of shit this year. They do something different. A couple years ago, they did dogs. So I went out and bought everybody I know who really like dog. I got the Bernese Mountain Dog for my parents and Boston Terrier for us. And then there's the old Chrysler building in New York City. So it's cool. But the thing that Topps does is they will make insert cards with autographs on them, and then they're numbered. So, there's 500 signed by a famous person, and then they're signed with a blue pen, and then they sign 10 with a red pen. So that's 510 autographs, but because one's blue and one's red, it makes the red more valuable. So you'll get a 1 of 10. And I bring that up specifically because this year they have all sorts of people that are cool, comedians and other pop cultures, but the most being Joanna and Chip Gaines from Magnolia Farms, of course. What was that show called? Fixer Upper?
Like you don't know what it was called. He used to jack to it every night.
Tim's boyfriend and his beard.
Yeah. It's not my beard. Look. Chip looks like Trey Anastasio, and Joanna looks like Buffy St. Marie. If you know
I remember we were at Dragon Con, and you and I walked past. It was a huge cutout of Chip Gaines. And we were walking fast because we were trying to go somewhere. So we were walking real fast, and you stopped dead in your tracks. You stopped. And you were like,
started making out with the cardboard cutout.
I cut a hole in its mouth and just started face fucking. It's cosplay. It's cosplay. Don't worry about it. I don't like him now that he's got new teeth. I liked him when he had the bad teeth.
It's fine. I feel the same way about Charlize Theron. I'll stop. She'll catch my eye. I'll be like, oh, look at her.
She's so beautiful. I love what she's done to her son. So anyway, what happens when these sets come out? Now, 2020, because of the pandemic or whatever, or because there's a lot of rookies baseball cards, you cannot find them anywhere. You cannot find them at Target or Walmart. As soon as they go up, people go in and they buy these little boxes, they immediately take them home and put them on eBay, and the value doubles. So, and I don't know why that is. I think it's because of the quarantine and everything. Everybody's home and there's nothing else to do. But baseball cards this year are selling like I haven't seen them sell since the late 80s, early 90s, which means there's going to be a lot more product, which means there'll be another boom and bust. But the reason I bring up the Chip Gaines and Joanna Gaines card is there's a dual card with both of their signatures on them. There's only 10 that they signed, and there's one on eBay right now for $2,499.
Dang.
And it'll sell. It'll sell. Some of the other people in this year's set are Danny McBride. That card is hard to find. Spike Lee. And the good thing is you can buy the cards. You can buy packs of the cards. I happened to find some the other day at Target. So here's my Chip Gaines.
Wipe the jizz off at first before you show it on camera. Then
that's how I put them on the wall. Like Philip Seymour Hoffman in what's that movie called?
Wait, where he was jizzing and putting stuff on the wall?
Yeah, he'd call people from random out of the phone book.
What's that Todd Stollins movie? I can't think what the name of it is.
Yeah, Todd Stollins movie. What was it called? Happiness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that the one where he's huffing airplane gas?
I don't know. I just know that he calls Laura Flynn Boyle.
Okay, never mind. I'm talking about the movie.
And he calls people from at random out of the phone book, and then when he's done, he finishes on the telephone book page and then tears it out and sticks it to his wall.
That does sound like something right out of your autobiography.
No, it does not. I've never done anything that weird. Here's Ken Jeong. You can all get these autographs on eBay if you want. Nick Thune and Kelsey Cook. Those are the celebrities I've gotten out of this one.
Who the hell is Kelsey Cook?
She's a comedian. But just to show you, this set's been around a long time. I have a Topps 2013 Mini. This is one of my most prized autographs. Abe Vigoda. And then in 2014, the Machine was an insert card. So you could get a Bert Kreischer. Now, I got the Bert. I didn't get the autograph, but since he used to come on the old regular guy show all the time, I did get him to sign it.
Now,
Oh,
is it worth as much as if it was autographed out of the pack, if you get it autographed?
Well, it depends. He wrote the same thing on the cards, but he used either a blue or a red pen. So this is actually a 1 of 1 because he used a black Sharpie.
Get that shit on eBay, man.
Well, I like Bert Kreischer, so I want to keep it. I don't sell everything.
He's getting hot right now. He's got that show coming on Netflix. He's got that competition show that he's shooting.
The Cabin.
Yeah. I've seen his balls.
I don't feel like you are in a small minority that have seen his balls.
No, I'm not. He used to get naked with Larry in the studio. Hey, guys, let's get naked. He'd take off all of his clothes and just sit there, and then Larry would take off his clothes, and then everybody else would be uncomfortable. I never took my clothes. Well, yes, I did, but not completely naked. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to move on. But so those are your baseball. That's my baseball card chat. I had asked Mark Aram yesterday if he wanted to come on and talk about it a little bit, but I forgot it was a holiday. All right, let's do some Steph stuff.
I know you and I were very sad about this. Jeff could give a rat's ass, but R.I.P. Animal from the Road Warriors. That was very. I mean, I'm assuming, what did he die from? The same crap every other wrestler dies from, because he was only 60.
Yeah, but Hawk died a while ago, right?
Yeah, Hawk was only like 46 or 43 or something like that. But yeah,
lifetime of physical abuse to the body, drugs, excessive drinking, partying might lead to an early death. I don't know.
If you were a fan of wrestling back then, the Road Warriors were the ultimate tag team. They were just badasses, Hawk and Animal. And, you know, we just saw them on that Viceland show, The Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah. Season 2, episode 9, if you're interested.
Yeah, and Animal was, he didn't look sick.
No.
Seemed okay. So, I don't know. It didn't say what he died of. They just said that he just died.
Might have been COVID. Jeff, did you watched wrestling? I remember you were into the WWF at the time, right? The Vince McMahon era, the Cyndi Lauper and Rock and Wrestling Connection. You liked that, right?
Yeah, back then.
Mm-hmm. When did you stop watching it?
Mania 3 or 4, probably.
When you grew up?
Yeah.
I kept watching it all the way into the 2000s.
Weren't you Captain Lou Albano for Halloween with rubber bands in your face one time?
Jeff?
No, Tim, you did that.
No, I did not do that ever. I don't, unless I don't remember doing that. But I put rubber bands on parts of my body, but I do that for fun, not to look like Lou Albano. I do
snap them real hard.
Yeah. Oh, don't do that again. Just like Mommy showed me.
Oh no. Well, anyway, R.I.P. Animal, and what the fuck? LA Comic-Con is going to happen this year.
What?
They don't give a rat's ass. You can march your way through the tent cities that litter Melrose Avenue. I'm kidding. I know it's in San Diego.
Can you spare a comic book? Hey, okay. Can I get a comic book?
I think they'll get a huge turnout too, because people are fucking desperate.
Well, they're only allowing half the amount of people that, like last year was 100,000 people went. They're only allowing half that, so 50,000. They're spacing the booths out. Everybody's got to wear masks, hand sanitizer. So,
we'll see if it actually happens. It's not until like the end
December.
of December.
Sign my mask. When is it? The end of December?
December. So we'll see if they actually pull it off or not. But they're planning it.
I mean, I just think it's funny because, you know, California, they've been one of the strictest as far as like the COVID rules and whatnot. And for them to have some huge ass convention like this, I mean, like 50,000 people, and they're going to rent out the entire Civic Center. Normally they only rent out half of it. So you'll have half the amount of people in double the space. So, I mean,
well, that's what you can't do it with Dragon Con, because Dragon Con is downtown. If they took Dragon Con and put it in the Georgia World Congress Center and spaced everything out, they could do it. But the thing about our convention here in Atlanta, right, Jeff, right, Steph, is that it's it's more intimate and everything is centered downtown. So that's why we can't do ours like that.
Well, yeah. Now there won't be any police to police it. So
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What?
Like pretty much, like cops in Atlanta are they're just quitting like crazy, dropping like flies.
Oh, that's okay. There's plenty of pimps they can hire to be community.
Then they'll be the security guards.
Well, that's what they're doing. I just saw Minnesota or Minneapolis. They hired it was Seattle, Washington. They hired a former pimp to be the community outreach person. So, hey, he knows
wow,
the streets. He knows the streets.
Pimping ain't easy, man.
Was it Iceberg Slim?
I don't know his name. I don't think it was Iceberg Slim.
Well, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with this Spotify versus Joe Rogan thing that's been happening.
The company or what's going on?
I know they hired him for like a shit ton of money, but what's going on after that?
Well, they want to have their staffers, Spotify staffers, they want to have directorial control over Rogan's show.
You mean editorial content?
Yeah, basically. And so, we all know that Rogan's show is long form. It goes anywhere. He says whatever the hell. His guest says whatever the hell. And that's kind of the appeal of it. That's why he gets the people that he gets. It can go for like 3 hours, him talking to this whatever person. But Spotify, I guess because Rogan has been talking to people like Alex Jones and people like that.
Those shows aren't on. So he didn't, when he migrated his shows over there, he left off some controversial ones, including the Alex Jones one.
Well, because of those, they want to control him.
Well,
he's not having it.
A couple weeks ago, he alleged that some of the fires out west were being started by members of Antifa, and then he had to go and drop to his knees and apologize for that. We don't know if they have or haven't been. If you watch the news, it's who knows how they got started, lightning or whatever. But he alleged that because someone else had alleged it, and then, of course, like I said, he had to do the apology parade. That was the thing that triggered them, and he has not addressed it. I haven't seen anything on Facebook or Twitter or in the media at all where he's said this. But if that happens, then it'll be a breach of contract and he can leave.
Well, the one dude, he's the MMA dude, UFC dude, Sonnen. He has his own big podcast as well. I mean, he's got tons of money and he has a huge draw on Spotify. So he's saying that if they don't back off and leave Rogan alone and let him do his own thing, that he's going to pull his shit. He's going to take his crap off of Spotify as well. And then, Rogan has tons of big friends and they'll all pull their shit off Spotify and just leave them with, true crime shows.
I don't think that Spotify is going to buckle to their pussy millennial zennial employees on something like this. It's about money. And you know what? If you work for a company and you don't like the content of something, if you're that triggered by it, you're going to have to go find another fucking job. Sorry.
Spotify says that they're only going to bend so far when it comes to their staff.
Yeah, you work for Spotify. They don't work for you.
Hey, Spotify, buy Radio Labyrinth. We'll edit. We'll
do whatever you want.
There'll be no more tranny talk on the Radio Labyrinth podcast.
We'll blow all the Spotify vehicles
because that's what that means. Because I don't want any other. Yeah.
So anyway, that's a lot of hullabaloo. We'll see how that all shakes out. It's still
Jamie, put that up. Jamie, put that up. Man, go kicking a mess.
Put that up. You stupid. So The Boys is getting a spinoff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like them apples. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the most recent episode was like a backdoor pilot for that spinoff.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
All those people in that hospital.
Yep.
That whole scene was great. I was on the edge of my seat.
You love that dude, Jay Schlong.
What was his name? He has a name. He's not just the dude with the giant schlong. What was his name?
I don't know what his name was. Roby said it on Twitter.
That was so funny when it snaked around his neck and was choking him. And you knew it was a dick when it went around his neck.
I just typed in Big Dick the Boys in Google, and the first thing that come up is Big Dick Boys compilation on X videos. That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, I mean, it is bookmarked.
Oh, my God.
I should know this, though. He has a name, and fuck. I'll find it.
Cindy, though. Cindy's a trip. So and you just explode. Cindy, look around.
I like her.
So, yeah, they'll be going to college in the spinoff.
Mm-hmm. Sort of be like the X-Men or the whatever.
Yeah, sort of. But that's what they say. It's like the X-Men with more blood and a lot more cussing. Pretty much. Which sounds interesting to me. And I assume that most of these new characters or whatever will be coming from Jeff Bezos's tuition-free preschool.
Think
He's
so?
going to be making all the new Vought soups are going to be coming from there. It's opening October 17th in Washington. Or no, is it Washington? It might be. Yeah, I think it is Washington. But yeah, it's going to be in low-income areas, and it's going to be like a Montessori-style school, you know, where you come
Learn
in.
at your own pace.
Learn at your own pace, yeah. And then you'll, you know, become one of his Vought superheroes.
Okay.
They shoot you up with the
every
juice.
lunch hour.
Basically. Pretty much.
Isn't New Mutants coming soon?
It already went out in theaters.
Oh, all right. Wow.
Yeah, and it was not well received. I heard it was me. And Family Guy, they cast the new Cleveland.
Yeah.
Simpsons did too.
Arif Zahir will be taking over, but not this season, next season.
Yeah, but he does Cleveland already. He does an impression of Mike Henry's Cleveland, and he sounds just like him. So, you know, whatever. Nobody's even going to know. I'm sorry.
The guy that got doing Carl in The Simpsons sounds just like the character too.
I can take the Cleveland voice. I don't get Carl. Carl's never been racially identified. I mean,
They decided that people they didn't want the voiceover actors playing against race anymore. So if you're a black character, you got to be voiced by a black voice actor.
But are they not going to let, you know, they're not going to let black
Phil Lamar
actors
can't do a white
voice
character.
whites or
No,
Asian?
I don't know if it goes the other way.
Of course it doesn't.
I mean, but have they been? They have been, though, right?
Yeah, Phil Lamar. I'm giving you, there's an example right there.
I honestly think that it would probably matter more if it's a stereotypical, like,
Apu.
voice. Yeah,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So I think that's the whole thing. If the character has no noticeable whatever vernacular, I guess is what we would say to put it politically correct.
Affectation.
Like if the character talked like this, I
Mhm.
don't think it would matter. Do you know what I mean? If it was a black character and they talk like this, it wouldn't matter. But it's, you know, I'm done. And so anyway.
Well, I've said before. Go ahead, Jeff.
Pretty soon, only aliens are allowed to voice Rick and Morty.
I've said before that Seth MacFarlane should have thought about that in 1999 when the show debuted, although I'm sure he wasn't in charge of that. But, you know, over the years, Cleveland could have been changed years and years and years and years ago. The Simpsons is so old, they should have kept it going.
Well, it wasn't the thing back then if a voice actor did a character that was black. It just wasn't.
It was the voice.
It wasn't an issue.
Right. And I get it now. I understand. I will never understand the Apu thing because from what I've discovered and read online over the years, actual Indians, not the pussy comedian who threw a fit and made the Simpsons change it, but most Indians love the Apu character because Apu is the most moral and hardest working character in the entire run of the series.
They're dumping a bunch of Aqua Teen Hunger Force episodes and stuff too, like Boxy Brown and.
Are you kidding?
Shake Like Me? No.
They're not going to have Shake Like Me or how do you know this?
It's a news story. I'll send it to you after the show, but.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Go watch it if you can or find it, a torrent of it and download it. Fuck Adult Swim. The Boxy Brown is a great character. It's hilarious. And Shake Like Me is one of the funniest episodes.
Yeah, it is very funny.
Fuck that. Oh, that pisses me off. I hope Adult Swim goes out of business.
It's pretty much, I don't know why they're just trying to grind satire into just a fine powder. And
Boxy Brown isn't an anti-anything. It's not a racist character. It's just it exists inside of Meatwad's brain. And the Shake Like Me is he got bit by a radioactive black man and he became black. It's a joke. So fucking stupid.
Not allowed.
I don't want to get angry, but that pisses me off.
Jokes anymore.
Yeah.
Well, all 45 seasons of Saturday Night Live are coming to Peacock.
Fucking finally.
Excited about that.
Finally, we can watch all the good Gilbert and Joe Piscopo.
I know. We'll watch all those fucking Ebersol years.
Oh, the Ebersol years haven't been on?
No, they haven't released any of those.
When is that happening, Steph? Are they going to be unedited, or are they going to be the full shows? Because they have hard time sometimes getting the music licensing rights, or they they show.
I don't know about the music.
And it's October 1st.
Oh, okay,
when it's coming. Yeah, it's unclear if the musical performances or pre-taped shorts will be included.
Yeah, the pre-taped shorts they have to get a licensing fee for. I just heard about. Have you guys listened to Malcolm McDowell on Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal podcast? In the first, it's a two-parter. So in the first one, he's talking about how horrible it was and how much he hated it. And he goes, "You weren't there, Gilbert, but it was an awful experience." Gilbert. But he did one thing, and Charles Rocket hosted the news. He's the guy that committed Harry in a field. And if you don't know Charles Rocket, he's in, I think the last movie he was in was Dances with Wolves. He was one of the commanders at the beginning. Anyhow, he's doing the news, and he decides to interview Yoko and John Lennon. This is a week before John Lennon was shot. And the tale that he tells is pretty interesting, how it went from him doing John Lennon and a bunch of gags with Yoko, making Coco. I love Yoko's Coco. Malcolm McDowell's playing John Lennon. A week after that, John Lennon gets shot. But in John Lennon's final BBC interview, he makes reference to it. I saw them doing me on Saturday Night Live, and Yoko and we loved it. So it's just a weird little thing. But anyway, there you go. You can watch all that shit now.
I'll finally be able to watch that Will Ferrell sketch that they never fucking show, that Home for the Holidays.
Oh, they don't show that. I love that.
They never fucking show that, where he flips the plate and storms off.
Yeah.
I drive a Dodge Stratus.
Yeah.
I look for it every Thanksgiving, and they do those new Thanksgiving episodes, and they never fucking show that one. That's the first thing I'm gonna watch.
Shit, it's 25 years ago, so it's like they have so much more since then. But wow. Well, good. That'll be great. I hope that they have everything, in there. I used to buy those DVD sets when they came out, but I think they eventually stopped making them.
I mean, they'll still show stuff like Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, right? And
might be
Buckwheat gets shot and all that.
Buckwheat gets shot. I love it. John David Stutz. Brought to you by, what was it, Texaco? Because you could die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just like John David Stutz. All right, is that all your stuff?
That's all my crap. Yeah, I'm done.
All your stuff. That's all you. Hello.
Oh no, he's back.
Hello.
Oh yes, listen. I know we had discussed I was going to be doing something that my late deceased twin, had done in the past. It was What's New in Redbox, or the whole Benicio del Toro, right?
You guys are twins, and you grew up in the same house. How come your accent's so much different than the other Redbox Troll?
Well, listen, I don't have an answer for that.
Yes, and
well, no, but.
Maybe you went to the Montessori school? Is that what it is?
I did go to Montessori. He went to a behavioral school. We were children. And then I was sent to Elon. And then I finished at Oxford. And that's where I got my degree in Redboxology.
And your brother never went to college or even finished primary school.
He joined the Coast Guard and dropped out because he couldn't swim very good. But anyway, I went and looked, and there's nothing new in Redbox. And I thought, well, maybe I'll think of a more recent film. And then I forgot. But I do have one thing of Rad Libs, if you two would like to do that with me.
Let's do it. Let's do it up.
Okay, now remember the rules. It's a movie synopsis, and I go through and I will ask you. This is turning into Peter Lorre. Let's pardon? Rick, where is the Maltese Falcon? No, it's more of a James Mason. There we go. Back into the voice. Listen. So this is a movie synopsis where we do the Mad Lib trickaroo with the words, and you'll get it if you follow along. I'll ask them over. We'll start and alternate. So, Jeff, why don't you go first? Give me a U.S. holiday.
Yom Kippur.
Stephanie, how about a year? It could be any year.
1994.
Oh, that's a great year. Jeff, give me a first and a last name.
Richard Dixon.
Okay. Stephanie, I need a verb in the past tense from you.
Fucked.
Okay. Jeff, I need a person's age, the number.
86.
Okay, that makes that better. Stephanie, I need a relative, a woman's name. I'm sorry, a relative.
Oh, just a relative? Aunt?
Jeff, give me a woman's name.
Phyllis.
Oh, sorry, something in my nose. Stephanie, I need a number.
39.
Jeff, give me a date and a year. Doesn't matter what.
September 11th, 2003.
Oh, good. Stephanie, please give me a number.
12.
Okay. Jeff, I need a mode of transportation.
DeLorean.
Okay. Stephanie, city and state.
Ecorse, Michigan.
Ecorse, Michigan. And Jeff, plural noun.
Balls.
Okay, perfect. Yes, well, it's ready to go, and now I will read it. How about that?
Okay.
So this is, you'll guess the movie after the words. Okay. On a cold Yom Kippur night in 1994, 6-year-old Richard Dixon brutally fucked his 86-year-old Aunt Phyllis. I told you these would be funny. He was sentenced and locked away for 39 years. But on September 11th, 2003, which is way more than 30 anyway, while being transferred for a court date, a 12-year-old Richard Dixon steals a DeLorean and escapes Smith's Grove. He returns to his quiet hometown of Ecorse, Michigan, where he looks for his next balls. What's the movie?
Halloween.
Halloween. I'm going to read that first sentence again. On a cold Yom Kippur night in 1994, 6-year-old Richard Dixon brutally fucked his 86-year-old Aunt Phyllis. So there's your Rad Lib for this week. Halloween, great 1978 film, John Carpenter, starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance. That was good. Thank you, guys. Thank
Sure.
you. Yeah.
See?
Very simple.
That was funny.
Really, I looked at poor Phyllis, but what was he about that big? So, Phil. I did look to see if there were new movies in the Redbox, and I was thinking there'd be but there isn't. There was like some Jeff Fahey movie. Oh, so
Body Parts 4.
Lawnmower Man Part 13.
Yeah, Lawnmower Man 58. So Jeff Fahey's on the top of your marquee, then that's a straight to Redbox. Straight to Redbox. Not that there's anything wrong with Jeff Fahey, but was he on Deadwood?
I don't think so.
No, he wasn't in Deadwood. He was in Tombstone, right?
Yeah, possibly.
So he was in Planet Terror.
Yeah, and he was, wasn't he, in Planet Terror? Yeah, he was.
He's the sausage guy.
That's right. So what we watched, I'll tell you what I watched before we get to our staff picks and stuff. We'll talk about a little bit about what we watched, but I watched The Boys last week. Thought it was an excellent episode. Raised by Wolves. There were 2 fantastic episodes. I'm looking forward.
That was the finale.
No, there's one more.
Yeah, I was totally wrong.
Oh, really? There's more?
Mm-hmm.
10 episodes. One more episode.
Oh, there's one more?
Yeah, and I watched the first episode of Utopia. I haven't watched Fargo yet. Have you both watched it?
Watch both of them.
Yeah, I watched them both.
Can we talk about that next week?
Yeah.
All right.
So good. That nurse is creepy as fuck.
She is. I don't know if I like the show yet or not. I'm gonna let it do its thing. You know, it feels like it's a slow burn.
Let's start with Utopia. You guys both watched that. Jeff, you're far ahead in that, right?
I watched 4 of them.
All right. Steph, did you watch the first one?
I watched about 20 minutes of it, and
all right, hold that thought. I watched
not for me.
I watched the entire episode. Okay, Steph, I want to know why it's not for you, Steph.
It was as soon as she started busting out the things on the map to the other comic book dudes at the con, as to what each thing meant and why it had something to do with diseases.
Talking about the blonde.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as she started doing that map shit, I was done.
So what?
Spoiler alert! Don't get too used to her character.
Oh, well, maybe
okay.
Now, so you don't like the conspiracy angle?
It's not that. It's just I don't like the acting. But if she's gonna die, maybe I'll keep watching it.
Yeah, there's a lot of subpar acting in this. I like the premise because I'm into the conspiracy theory thing. I think it's fun. I don't believe any of them, but I think it's fun. And I don't, get sucked into that rabbit hole. But I like that angle. Also like that it's comic books, and I like that they go to a comic book convention. That's a big part of the first episode, and they didn't pay any licensing fees, so they just had people dress up in weird looking outfits, which I thought was kind of cool.
That was funny, and just them going to that room to bid on the stuff. And I mean, I like the idea of it. That's when it was just some of the acting is when I was like, oh, this is like some CW crap. Some of it, but then dude from You're the Worst, the one that played Edgar, I really like him.
Desmond Borges, he's hilarious.
Who was he? What character was he?
He was the roommate, the chef that cook all the food for the English guy.
Oh, okay.
And he had the PTSD from being in the army.
On this show, on YouTube.
No, You're the Worst. He's the bearded guy, the big bearded guy that lives with his dad.
Yeah, his dad's a
borrowed $30 from his
too.
dad to go to the Comic-Con.
Oh, was his name like Randy or something?
Yeah, something like that. Wilson.
Wilson is his name. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on. Jeff, tell me why you liked it.
It's just a fun story so far. I want to see it's based on a British series that ran like 12 episodes.
Okay.
So I want to watch the original one, see what happened.
Same name?
Yeah.
Same name. So basically the premise of the show is there was a graphic novel released about a young girl and some rabbit, and you'll have to look it up if you want to know. I don't really know the whole thing, and I don't want to spoil it, but it was a cult comic book, a cult graphic novel. And go ahead. And
there was like all these things that it foretold.
Well, yeah, there's two schools.
Yeah,
you see the two kinds of fans. You see the fans, the fanboy fans, and then you see the people like Jeff said, and the one that bothered Steph are the people who look through it trying to find clues to what's going on in the future.
Right.
That predictive thing. Like if you see people will say sometimes, The Simpsons predicted 9/11 because Bart holds up the magazine that says 9/11 with the Twin Towers on it. And I like that angle. The thing what else did you like about it? I don't want to step on you because it's a news show.
I like Cusack, although he doesn't appear in the first episode.
Yeah, I didn't see him in the first episode. No.
And the main bad guy is kind of like, it's kind of, I don't know, if it was 10 or 15 years ago, Kevin Spacey would probably be playing this guy.
I thought the same thing. Did you think that, Steph? Did you see those two?
I hadn't got that far, I don't think. Like I didn't even see Rainn Wilson yet.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson wasn't in the first one either.
Oh, okay.
No, did you see the part where the guy's standing by the side of the road and the other guy picks him up in the car and all he's doing is...
Yeah, the weirdo, yeah.
Yeah, but total Kevin Spacey meets Ronan Farrow.
Yeah, and
really,
where did
maybe.
Yeah, where did he come from? He's just there.
Well, you'll find out.
Or anything.
But those characters, I really liked. I really dug them in the first.
Okay, too used to them either.
Well, I don't expect they'll be around very long, but I liked them in that episode. I thought they were really good, and I like what they're doing. So there's a lot of weird plot shits going on. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with this Utopia show. I'm going to keep going. I was worried that because John Cusack is attached, that it was just going to be, one of those where they just shove everything down your throat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind that being in my shows. I just don't want it spoon-fed to me. I want to be able to find it.
Right.
And you're going to find that in The Boys, by the way. Are we done talking about Utopia? Do you want to add anything, Jeff?
No, it's good. I'm going to keep watching it.
I'm going to watch episode 2. Steph, why don't you finish the first one and let us know what you think?
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll keep going, especially now that I know that some things are going to change.
Yeah, damn right they are. You don't like the blonde bitch. She's going to be dead. So don't worry about it.
I liked her in Happy Death Day, the first
That's
one.
the girl from Happy Death Day?
Yeah.
Happy Death Day.
She was in that Stoner show on MTV, too, that was like a ripoff of Broad City. I can't remember what that was called.
Yeah.
Weed delivery girls.
I am happy that I have been watching more TV, so that's good, right?
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
It's better than the alternative, being in reality.
Or watching Fox News or MSNBC all night. Getting on Twitter and
anything matters. It matters.
So the name of the episode this week was The Bloody Doors Off. Season 2, episode 6 of The Boys. Was a very good episode. I loved particularly Shawn Ashmore's character, Lamplighter. Mm-hmm. Lamplighter is a cool character, and I like the slow way they tell the story of what happened between him and Frenchie. I like the Frenchie backstory this week, where you see what led up to his confrontation with Lamplighter. And always I go to our friend Sean, who's read all the comic books, and he knows the whole story and refuses to spoil it for me, which I appreciate, even though I did get one spoiler. I got it out of him. I won't tell anybody.
Black Noir is somebody under his costume.
Well, yeah, I know who Black Noir is.
Oh, okay.
I tell you. I'm not going to spoil it.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
I just can't take that kind of suspense. But you have
I was enjoying the, Homelander. He was waiting for her in the trailer with those flowers. And then when he realized that he was a chump, because he's like the last person in the world you want to punk.
Yeah.
Or lie to. And I was surprised how they flipped it at the end, how she was able to get him back once she told him who she really was.
She'd be old as fuck.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously he's all down for this Nazi shit. And that's totally in his wheelhouse. Yeah. As soon as she said, like, our race, the one pure race and all this, he was like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he, that he's everything they ever dreamed of, basically.
So he's the revelation of their dream, what they were always looking for. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Do you?
Oh, what do you mean? Like,
he's already one kid.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I don't see, but I try to find out what. First of all, Stormfront in the comic book is a guy, so there's no fucking in zero gravity fucking with Homelander in the comic book. But making that character a female and bringing it into the show like that, I think, is a good switcheroo. I think her character is really good for television, and they can do that whole. I read an interview in. You guys ever look at Collider?
Mm-hmm.
I like Collider a lot, but I read this interview, and the showrunner or the guy who's making the Boys, not Seth Rogen, but somebody else, was saying that, well, this really is an analogous to what's going on today with white supremacy. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. But they're doing it subtly in the show, and the show's good, so it doesn't really bother me that much. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, the way that they're portraying all this, and the fact that, it's so over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's, to me, you can't really align it with whatever the hell they think that current reality is, because it's just so way over the top. I wouldn't even you couldn't even say like this is some Proud Boy shit or some crap like that.
It's not really wrapped in that. But Jeff's favorite part was when Mother's Milk almost got killed by the giant penis. Still there, Jeff? Or are you thinking about that giant penis?
I texted you and I said you loved that part, and you were like, I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah. It wasn't like the penises in that in that episode of Room 104 with Orlando Jones.
Oh yeah.
God, that was a weird episode. By the way, I started watching that show, but we'll get to that in a second. I can't find the name of the giant penis guy, and it's pissing me off. I was told the other day, and I can't remember. It pisses me off.
Don't watch the Mark Porkrich Room 104.
Why?
Just don't. I'm telling you now.
Don't Google the boy's giant penis and then click on images either. Not having any luck, but I am getting on all sorts of things. So we all agree that Amazon's The Boys is a great show, and gosh, I wish there were more episodes because it's probably going to end sooner than later. And if you are into the show, let us know what you thought about The Bloody Doors Off, which was season 2 episode.
Love Sausage.
Love Sausage. That's his name?
That's what Roby Neely says.
Okay, Love Sausage. Yeah. Oof. I'm going to go buy the comic book so I can read them all and get spoiled because they change enough or it won't really matter. All right. Not Mother's Milk. Raised by Wolves. What did you guys think of the last couple episodes?
I thought that was the end. But
it's because I told you last week that it was going to be the end, but it's not. I'm wrong. I'm wrong as hell. No.
Well, what do you at least one more?
There's number 10 is this Friday. They'll drop it, or like this Friday at midnight, and then we get to see how it's all going to wrap up before they do season 2. But I thought one thing that I've never seen ever in any show is a cyborg pregnant with a embryo that requires blood, and then to get the blood, you've got a line attached to a man who has a helmet on that will crush his skull if he tries to run away, or if the head of the android in his backpack gets too far away from him. And of course, I've never seen anything like that.
I haven't seen anything like this show in my life. That's why I like it so much.
Yeah. That was so like when it was happening, when I was watching her walk, and this is a visual that I've never encountered. And for us to watch as much TV as we do, movies and stuff, that's part of why I love the show so much.
How about you, Jeff?
Yeah, it's really good.
Fucked up. It is fucked up, but are you guys like me in that you went through a period of not liking Mother or Father, and in this episode you're completely rooting for them?
I've always loved Father. I was so happy
Father too, but I was at first rooting for the humans when they get to the planet, but I don't like any of them now.
Right.
Except for the mother, the chick,
Danny Cooksey.
Yeah, Daniel Cooksey.
Hey,
Mr. Drummond, I was going to steal the orphans from the robot.
What are you talking about?
But there's a lot of shit. There's still so many things to find out. Who's putting those metal cards out, like those metal tarot cards?
Well, you find out. They sort of allude to what's going on in this episode. I don't want to spoil it because it's this show to me is so unique and interesting that I don't want to do any spoilers whatsoever. But there is a cool scene in this where you sort of get an idea of what's fucking with all these people, right?
Do you? I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
You remember that scene, Jeff, where all right, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If this is very important if you're watching Dances with Wolves or whatever it's called.
In space. That's what I recall. Dancing with Wolves in space.
There's a scene where I can't remember who it is, but somebody's having a dream and you see the planet and there's like a little head inside of a thing controlling things and making those little tarot cards.
So another robot android thing?
No. It's like sentient life on that planet.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking it is, that planet has sentient life and they can do all sorts of crazy shit, and they don't like those people being there. But who knows? There's with Ridley Scott and this whole world, there's always going to be a twist. Always going to be a twist. I thought that Mother was pregnant with one of those creatures, because remember, after she the creature's blood, she adapted their ability to smell, stalk, and hunt. So one episode left of that, and that's what we're watching. Although, and then I'll do my my other shit real quick, and we can wrap up the show. But love those shows. I started, like I said, watching Room 104, and I got about 6 episodes into the first season. I really dig the show. I like that they're half hour. I like that there's misdirection, that they're clever. Some of them aren't like the greatest episodes, but the first one they did with what's his name from I Don't Want Your Life. What's that guy's name?
From
Dawson's Creek, dude.
Yeah, I don't want
James Vanderbeek.
Yeah, James Vanderbeek, who did that lawyer show with Mark Paul Gosselaar. But yeah, that was an interesting one where the young guy who's in all sorts of shit, and I can't remember his name. He's the pizza delivery guy, and they're like fucking with him and tying him up. And there's just lots of weird twists in this show. It's kind of like Twilight Zone, but it's in a hotel room. And Jeff's talked about this before, and Steph too, and I just started watching it. So when
the first few episodes of pizza gets ruined every time, and I used to get pissed off about that.
Yeah. That's right. It's
like some really good looking pizza, and they fucking destroy it every episode.
I know, and if you live in the South, it's very difficult to get super good pizza.
I know.
No doubt.
I really didn't watch much of anything else. I'm glued to football. I'm so happy football's back, even though
I'm a Bills fan now, by the way.
Are you a Bills fan now? You've given up on the Giants, who are now 0-3? Why are you
Bills?
Why are you rooting for the Bills?
Because they're doing good this year.
Wait till they play Cam Newton and the wait till they play us. Patriots look good. Football is exciting. I don't care, and you can have all the politics you want. Doesn't matter to me. I love football.
I'm just gonna be a Chiefs fan. Just gonna go with the Chiefs.
Are you? You're just gonna go with the Chiefs? Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. The Josh Mahone. I'm just gonna go with that.
Jeff, the Giants' problem is the coaching, not the players, right?
And the injuries.
Oh yeah, the injuries don't help either. And the Falcons. Let's
the Lions.
Oh yeah. The teams that have always sucked, they're still sucking, so nothing's changed. I didn't really watch much anything else. I listened to the most recent episode of Talking Sopranos. Last week was Vinnie Pastore. This week they kick off the first episode covering season 3, Mr. Ruggiero's Neighborhood, with the actress who plays Artie Bucco's wife, Catherine Narducci. She's really interesting. And again, I love this podcast not just because they talk about the Sopranos episodes, but they talk about all sorts of cool things. Working in Hollywood, Steve Sciarippa has interesting stories. Michael Imperioli, he is very sardonic, and they have a great chemistry, and I highly recommend it. And it led me to listen to Vinnie Pastore's podcast, which just recently started. He does it with a guy named Goomba Johnny. It's called Fuhgeddaboudit, and the guest I listened to is Colin Quinn, who has a brand new book out. And my staff pick this week, which I discovered because every Friday now I go to Spotify and I look and see what's new. Bruce Springsteen released a couple songs off his upcoming album. He had released one earlier. This new one that came out last week is called Ghosts. And I swear to God, this song sounds like it could have been on The River or Nebraska. Nebraska's an album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of those old ballads, 6-7 minute ballads where Little Steven's jamming and he's singing a lot of good backup, and Max Weinberg's going nuts on the drums, and Clarence Carter's son is on this track playing the saxophone. It sounds like an old E Street Band song. It's really, really good. And
Clarence Clemens.
What did I say?
Clarence Carter.
We be smoking. We be stroking. Okay.
Clarence Thomas.
I didn't say Clarence Thomas. Yes, thank you, Jeff. I meant Clarence Clemens. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Well, you think all Clarences look alike?
No, I don't. I'm not anti-Clarences. But anyway, it's really good. If you like Bruce Springsteen, it's really good. And, enjoy it.
My staff pick is coming out tonight, the South Park Pandemic Special.
It's on tonight. It's on tomorrow night.
Wednesday.
Oh no, yeah, right. We're recording on Tuesday. You're right. Jeff's right. It's Wednesday night. Hour-long episode, right?
Yeah, it's going to be hilarious.
I'm also excited about this.
Did you want to talk about anything you watched or listened to besides that?
Yeah, we talked about all the important shit.
How was Michael Strahan on Literally?
That was really good.
I like Michael Strahan. He's a really cool dude, man. I'm glad that he got success after playing football, and he's not like brain dead. He's just
Rob Lowe surprisingly does such good interviews with people.
Oh, he's a really good interviewer.
Yeah,
Rob Lowe's a good guy. You know, he's an interesting character, but he's also a good actor, and he's maintaining.
He knows a lot about a lot of shit.
Yeah,
he does. It's funny. Are you done, Jeff? Or?
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm going to segue into the fact that I have went down a Rob Lowe rabbit hole recently with old Rob Lowe movies. Just like
I'm waiting for Jim Belushi on from about last night.
That's what I'm watching right now. I'm watching that one right now. God, that movie's like practically a porno.
Is there nudity in that? I thought they didn't have nudity in it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Demi Moore is like fully naked for, I don't know, like 25 minutes. I don't know. She's naked. They're banging, naked, banging. I mean, but they were both they were both so young and hot. It would have been a crime not to show these people in the nude doing what they do.
He had Demi Moore on his podcast.
Did they talk about it?
I gotta listen to that one.
Yeah.
Did they talk about their sex scene? Because I know that her daughters just recently watched it like a year or two ago, and they were just like, "Oh my God!" Like it was a lot. It was a lot for them to take in. But so yeah, that's so funny. Is I've been saying Almost Fire, Youngblood. That's my next one. I'm gonna watch Youngblood again. But
hockey one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
None of these movies are great.
No, but they're enjoyable. I like the boat one or the Thames River where he's on the rowboat team. What was that one?
Oh, you're talking about Oxford Blues.
Yeah, is that him? That's him, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know the Jim Belushi character in About Last Night, that definitely reminds me of you, Tim. You brides. Talking about brides.
All right, I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen any of these movies in 100 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I've been going back and watching them now. I watched them all years ago when I was a kid, and I loved them then, and I haven't watched them in ages. So anyway, so I'm enjoying that. And Great British Bake Off is back, and they did it right. They quarantined all these people. They made them live at the Bake Off Castle, whatever the hell.
Bubble.
Like they couldn't go home or anything. They got their COVID test, and then the hosts, everybody, they just lived there. And by doing so, there's no masks, there's no social distancing, there's none of that crap. It's like a regular, normal show.
That's cool.
So to me, that's really the only way to do some stuff is just COVID test people, then lock them in a thing in like some biosphere. You can't leave until the shit's done shooting. That way the rest of us get to pretend like the world isn't going to straight to hell.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you that sense of whatever.
That's how they need to do Survivor.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And also
everybody stay anyway. I mean,
just if one guy on the island COVID and you have to avoid him.
That's pretty good. I watched that movie Ready or Not. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
That is a fun movie. It's very gory and crazy. It's about that rich family, that really pretty blonde girl. I forget what her name is. She's like a Margot Robbie
Samara
type.
Weaving.
Yeah, she's another Aussie. She's really good in this. Very funny, but she is marrying into this super rich family, and at midnight she has to play this game of hide and go seek. It's some little tradition of theirs. What she doesn't realize is that they're going to kill her, and if they don't kill her, they're all going to die. It's like some curse that's on the family, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. So
Fun movie.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun movie to watch. So Ready or Not, it was good. The Bob's Burgers premiere was really good. And Jeff, I finished I'm Dying Up Here. There's no way they meant to end it that way. Neil and I were infuriated. We were fucking infuriated. I did not see that coming.
Leo. Was her name Melissa Leo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, at least she got an Emmy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But what's his face? Duncan Clark, is that his name?
Yeah.
What happened with him?
Yeah. It was a great show.
I did not see that coming, and I did not like it. It was very upsetting to me. But my staff pick is a show that's coming on Hulu October 2nd. It's called Monsterland. and
I hear a lot about it.
Yeah, it's an anthology series.
Based on a book, right?
I believe so, yeah. And each episode is going to have different monsters, and they're all different, and they all have different actors or whatever, but it's more about the humans are the real monsters.
Okay. Right. That looks cool.
Yeah. Monsterland.
I'm looking forward to checking that out.
I just wrote it down on my must-watch list.
Hopefully it's not crap.
It's not. I hope it's not crap, too. All right. So I guess that's the show this week. Thank you for indulging my my baseball card fetish earlier. And thank you for making Rad Libs funny. We'll be doing horror movies the rest of the year. And next week, I think
What? The rest of the month.
Yeah. The rest of the month. Next week, I think the original Redbox Troll, not Reginald B. Nubbinsworth, but the one before that. I think. What was his name?
I don't know if he had a name.
You would check your Redbox Troll.
The Billy Barty voice.
Yeah, I think we're going to find some old Halloween movies that are available in Redbox, and so he'll join us for a little while, even though the new guy doesn't like him very much. They don't get along, and he's a rube, and he drools and spits on himself. And the new guy, whose name I forgot, which is why I'm calling him the new guy, he doesn't really get into that whole crazy thing, but he does still like to have his nub rubbed. He just keeps it quiet. It's quiet and pays a lady to do it. All right, so Steph, do you have anything to add from the Barkies?
I had to swap out my foster because there was a lady in our group. She was fostering a dog that growled at her daughter. And so they wanted to get him out of there. And mine she was not a growler. She's very sweet. So we swapped, and her dog that she gave me is a dreamboat, an absolute dreamboat. Oh my God, I love this dog.
No growling?
No, he's just scared. Somebody beat the shit out of him, and her daughter was a little too, he didn't trust her. He didn't like her vibe.
Right.
So no, he's totally fine at our house. But the dog that I sent her is fucking her shit up. It's not going so good. So right. She's like, what do I do about, and how do I, and I know she's thinking to herself right about now, I should have just let the other one bite my kid and be done with it. So anyway, don't know what's going to happen with that. May have to send little Phoebe to training or something, because I feel like she's undone all the good things that I got her to do while she was here. So we'll see. I don't know, but the one I got is cool as shit, so it's not my problem. Either way, BarkvilleDogRescue.org.
BarkvilleDogRescue.org. Do they have an Instagram?
They do. It's Barkville Dog Rescue. We have a Twitter. Obviously our Facebook. But we need fosters, like, I can't even tell you. Obviously, most of the time, it's cool. Every once in a while, you get a challenging one here and there. But Barkville's always there for you. Mm-hmm. So if you can't handle it, we'll put them in boarding. We'll put them in training, something. But we're always raising money for that kind of stuff. And, we're just always trying to set the dogs up for success so that their next home is their permanent home.
Cool.
So anyway. But anyway, BarkvilleDogRescue.org.
Jeff, you have anything you want to say or plug?
Nope. All
right. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at @radio_Labyrinth, Facebook, just Radio Labyrinth, or join the super secret fan group created and run by Dustin Lawler, and that is called the Radio Shack. We're also on YouTube now. We have our own URL. How about that? Radio Labyrinth, and you can watch the great videos that Dustin Lawler is producing for us each and every week. And anything else? Where else? So we're on Amazon now, so you can get us on Amazon Music. We're on all your platforms. So please rate and review us. Interact with us. If you'd like to become a Patreon member, you can go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews and sign up. As by the end of the week, I've just written it all. Everything will be updated and brand new. And like I said at the beginning of the show, stickers and pins will be coming. Stickers and pins are on their way. How about that?
Very cool.
Very cool. So until next week, please remember to keep it canon.